So I heard common sense wasn't too common. And then I found out it was true. Because if it was common sense that everybody should have common sense, then why does it seem like when God distributed common sense, most people ain't seen common sense?
I got a question. How should I make this poem come alive? Maybe if I close my eyes and lift my hands up high, then will you feel my pain?
Hello, welcome to There's a Beautiful Me. I'm your host, Crystal Davis, and we are at the end of the season, the end of the year, new holidays, new year, new beginnings, so much in store for next year, and I cannot wait to share it with you all. I just want to say thank you to everybody that supported, and if you have not watched any of the shows, you can always watch them live on my website, proverbsbeauty.org. Please give me your feedback. Let me know what you think. I really do appreciate all those who have supported and helped and participated in this show, and thank you for sharing your stories with others. This would not be possible without you guys, so thank you so much for everything and all that you put into this and for sharing your stories so that others can see what God has done in your life. We are going to end our devotion with Ephesians 1 verses 11 through 14 states, "In him we have obtained an inheritance, having been predestined according to his purpose of him who works all things according to the counsel of his will, so that we who are to hope in Christ might be the praise of his glory. In him you also, when you heard the word of truth, the gospel of your salvation, and believed in him, were sealed with the promised Holy Spirit, who is guaranteed our inheritance until we acquire possession of it, to praise of his glory." So as we end this year, think about the promises. Think about the fulfillments that God has in store for you. Look forward to what next year has to bring, because whatever the promises that he's already started, whatever the thing that he's already placed within you, that he's growing within you, will soon come into fulfillment. Think about the things that you prayed for that he's answered, the promises that you thought were never going to happen, the ones that did happen, the ones that came into fulfillment, and even those that are pending, because you don't know what God has in store. Whatever this fulfillment that God has for you, even if you may not think it's for you, it probably is for you. So trust God. Trust that he's going to deliver you. Trust that he's going to get you through it, and get ready for the fulfilling of his promises for you in 2016. That's it for your devotional. And now to our beautiful inspiration news. Okay, so for your beautiful inspiration news, I have some news. This is actually the season finale. Yes, this is the end of season 2, but it's okay, because next year when we start off season 3, we're going to have so much more involved and so much more to share. I have some little fun facts and tidbits that I'll be sharing as well. So this is not goodbye. This is not over. I promise. I'm going to have something just very encouraging. We're going to take it up a notch. We're going to try new things. We're going to learn together, and we're going to grow together, and we're going to continue to uplift God's kingdom and do what he has called us to do. I just want to say thank you to everybody that has been a part of this show. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, Happy Holidays, and I will see you next year. Now, coming on today's show, in the last show of the year, I have a woman who has been through it. She's battled depression, suicidal thoughts, and at a young age, she was molested. But that didn't stop her from going on into fulfilling her dreams and writing 2 books, and on top of that, starting her own nonprofit in 2006 called Life of Hope After Abuse. This woman is Sheryll Roberts. She is an author, motivational speaker, and activist for young people who have dealt with molestation at a young age. Sheryll wants to share the light in helping those young people who have suffered through sexual abuse at a young age. She can only do this with your help. So today she's here to share her story. I hope that you are able to share this with others and bring light as well and awareness to this ongoing issue that continues to affect our young children each and every day. It's not often that you see women such as Sheryll come out and share their story, but she's brave and she's strong and she's here to share. Stay tuned for for Sheryll Roberts. Hello, welcome to There's a Beautiful Me. I'm your host, Crystal Davis. Welcome to the show. We're in season 2, and today we are going to be discussing a lot of things, and one of those things is dealing with sexual abuse. Life of Hope After Abuse is a nonprofit that caters to young women, youth, men, girls, boys who have dealt with that in their lifetime. And this nonprofit also caters to other people in the community. So with me today is Sheryll, and Sheryll is the founder of this nonprofit. So Sheryll, thank you so much for coming out to the show. So before we get started, can you tell us about your story and your journey with everything that led up to you starting this nonprofit?
Well, I was molested at the age of 4 by a cousin. And then again, from the age of 8 to 15, I was molested and raped by a sibling. And as a child, I pretty much shut up. And I lived in silence for many years. And I suffered with low self-esteem, no confidence, and pretty much hating my very existence. But so I just kind of went through life existing, and I went through different things to kind of cope, to numb the pain that I was feeling. I began drinking. I tried committing suicide several times, sleeping around, just trying to trying to fill that void and to make myself feel better because I didn't like who I was. And so I just went through life just existing and pretty much blocked it out until I turned 28. And for some reason, God brought it back up. And I went through another big thing of depression and suicidal attempts. But it was then that I realized I needed to deal with it because for so long I hadn't. And many times we think that because it's not in our forefront or it's suppressed that it's fixed or it's healed, and it's not. And so I went through a healing process that was really tough. But I'm grateful to God that He gave me the strength and the people that loved me and supported me and pushed me to where I needed to be. And so now, I have my voice back, and I'm living and I'm loving life. And now it's just a ministry for me. It's my movement to help those who are still suffering in silence to live and to speak out and to know that, they have a voice and you're not by yourself and it wasn't your fault. So that's my mission, my movement is to just spread hope and healing.
Wow, that is a strong testimony, I must say.
I'm grateful.
Oh my gosh. And during that time, I kind of want to ask just a couple questions for those that may be dealing with the same situation or know someone that may be going through the same situation who have been told to be quiet. And I know you were younger, but let's say for someone in high school, that going through that I know is probably unbelievable that you would think, like, if I didn't know people or if I saw someone and didn't know their story, right, and if I found out that that was something that was happening, I would have felt bad, like, I know that person. Like, why didn't they say anything? Right. So what advice would you give to a young female or male that may be going through the same situation in high school?
Just let them, know that, hey, it's not your fault. You had nothing to do with what they did to you. And so you're not by yourself. And there are people out here who are willing and are able to help you. So don't be afraid to say anything. Reach out to somebody. And if that person doesn't, help you or believe you, go to somebody else. Keep telling until something is being done about it. Don't shut up.
Right. So then also with your friendships and with relationships, I know that was different. So how was that, with your friends and because they didn't know your situation?
I was very shy and very timid, and so I had friends, but I wasn't really a talkative type of girl anyway. So for me, being quiet was the norm. I thank God that the masks are all off now, and I am for real me, and I'm loving me. So, but it was a process. It was a process.
And
But I'm
then being
grateful.
able to share it now with
Yeah.
other people
Yeah.
and with the nonprofit, because it started in 2006, and now here it is. What is it like for you to know how far your organization has come since then?
Wow. It's been amazing. Sometimes I'm still in awe of what God is doing in my life and through me. So it's been up and down, but for the most part, just seeing the people that I've helped or encouraged, it's very, very rewarding. So it keeps me going.
Right. So the youth that are in the organization, can you tell us about that interaction?
They're very shy, and
Right.
because it's a painful thing to open up about. So a lot of them come very closed in and withdrawn. But once you let them know that you're there for them, little by
Then it gets
little
better.
they open up. And it's amazing to see the growth from where they came from, and to see them just it's it's amazing to me, and I'm like I said, I'm still in awe of the different things that are happening through the organization and through my life and through the pain that I went through. So it's the kids are wonderful. I love them.
That's wonderful. And so how do the kids get involved with you? How can they be a part of your organization, or even those that want to help just as yourself? What can they do to be involved?
They can go to my website, www.lifeafterabuse.org, and send us a request form, and whatever they can do, or if they need us, we're there for them. So I mean, we're 24 hours.
Right. Because you also have community involvement. So can you
Absolutely.
tell us about some of the things that you all have done, or if you all go to different schools and of that nature?
I've done a couple of schools, a couple of daycares, um, different outreach programs where I go and speak and just tell my story, and then listen to them talk, ask questions. Because a lot of times kids don't know how to ask questions, and sometimes the parents, it's kind of hard for them to answer if they don't know. So when I talk about it, it's like, all these questions are coming, because it's like, okay, I need to know this. Because a lot of times the parents don't know how to explain or talk. So when I go to different youth events and stuff, the questions are, are like rambling off, because they want to know. And and we've done different events for youth, seminars, different things like that for the youth to learn and to be around, other kids that have been
That same
abused. Yeah.
situation.
So they'll know they're not by themselves.
Right. So everything, it seems like it's more like a family kind of close circle that everyone can share and interact.
Absolutely.
And during this time, you also wrote 2 books.
Yes.
And so what moment sparked you to say, I need to write this? I need to get this out to everybody?
Actually, I was working on the children's book, but then God said, okay, people need to hear your story. So I stopped, I put that on hold and started writing my story, which is called From Victim to Vessel. And it was like, I don't know if I should do this, because it wasn't because I was still in that painful place. It was more so about my family and how it would make them feel. And so I had reservations about writing the first book, but God had to let me know it's not about them. It's about the people that needs to hear your story and would be helped through that. So I was like, okay. Okay, so I began to write the second book. My Body's Not Your Playground came a year later. So, and that's more for the children and also for the parents. But it's, about a story of a little girl who was molested but had the courage to tell something that I didn't do as a child. So I want to convey that, no matter what you've been through and who it is, tell someone. You have a voice, use it.
Where can people get the book?
They can go on Amazon.com or Lulu.com, or they can go to my website.
Is there like a partnership, like a one-on-one, like,
Absolutely.
you can just, okay, I don't want to be in a group setting,
Right.
but you all have one-on-one
Absolutely.
settings as well?
Absolutely. I have counselors on board, and I also do mentoring. So, if it's one-on-one, you don't have to be in a group with everybody else. And it's crazy that I've been wanting to be a counselor for so long, and I'm in school now, so I'll be graduating December the 18th. So now, I'll be more equipped to, handle, instead of just me giving my personal, but now I can be equipped to actually give you some advice. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining me and joining us, and I hope you all were very informed. Again, you can reach out to Sheryll, and can you tell us again your social sites so people can find you, or even email?
I have so many. My website is www.lifeafterabuse.org. You can reach me on Facebook, Sheryll Roberts, Sherryll. I'm different. My name is spelled differently. Twitter, it's Hope After Abuse. Instagram, it's Sheryll Roberts. What else? Email. It's victim to vessel at gmail.com. The number 2 vessel at gmail.com.
And just so you all can see the book, this is the book that she wrote, so you all can be sure to get that, and all those youth, everybody, because it's not just girls, it's guys, anybody. Please reach out to Sheryll, or if you know someone, please share this information, share this story, and pass it along. I am your host, Crystal Davis. There is a beautiful me and you. You are God's beauty inside and out. Stay tuned. Okay, so we're at the end of our show, and closing out the season finale and this year, I have a guest poet. His name is Joshua Kaskin, also known as Kodak. He is a theater major at Texas Southern University with a minor in music. Kodak has his own TV program called Lit TV, where he utilizes his platform to bring awareness to others. He also has performed at many locations here in Houston, but just to name a few, he's been at Warehouse Live, the Improv, and Sugar Hill Lounge. Kodak is an active member of the premier spoken word ensemble Soul Poetry. In addition to all his accomplishments, Kodak is the co-host of Verses and Vibes, and he's also showcased his talents recently this past year at the Million Man March in Washington, D.C. Although he's making a big name for himself, his greatest accomplishment yet is his 9-month-old daughter. Please stay tuned for Kodak. Okay, thank you for staying with us. I'm here with Kodak, and he's actually going to be closing out the show this year. This is the season finale, like I said before. So, Kodak, he's been doing this spoken word for just a year now, or less than a year. Yes. So, what started you on wanting to do spoken word?
Well, actually, to be honest, I was in the shower, and seriously, I was in the shower, and I just started, like, words started coming to my mind. And of course, I wanted to be a rapper, So, I started writing, and I started looking up music and things like that. And it led me to Def Poetry Jam on YouTube, when they continued doing videos. So it led me to Def Poetry Jam, and I seen Mos Def on there. I seen Kanye West on there. I seen all these people, and I'm like, wow, I don't even need music to even write. And I started doing that. And when I started writing before I started performing, of course. I don't know, I just fell in love with writing. And then when I started performing, like, I just love the crowd response. I love it. So that's what really started me on performing, really, was knowing that I had something to say. And I really needed people to hear me. So with that being said, when I started performing, I seen the crowd reaction. It became addictive. Now I just love performing. I don't know.
So what were some of those reactions that really encouraged you or kept motivating you to continue to do this?
So it's like after the performance, when they come to me and tell me, man, you taught me something I didn't know this time, or you inspired me, you make me want to keep going, and when they tell me to keep going, that's inspiring. That's inspiring. Yes, it's motivation. It really does. It makes me want to write more. It makes me want to come up with something new, and I appreciate fans.
Thank you so much for staying with us. And everybody, please stay tuned and listen to what he has to say. It's very powerful, very moving. And if people want to hear more about you or see any of your videos, can they reach out to you? Yes. What are your social sites?
My Instagram is Spit Kodak, SPITKODAK. On Facebook, yes, I do still have a Facebook. Joshua Kaskin, and it's 2 pages on there, my personal page and my fan page. So. And
it's all the same?
It's all the same. It's all the same. But yeah, if you really want to contact me for any shows or anything coming up, you can email me at j.kaskin, KASKIN 17 @gmail.com.
All right, well, thank you so much. Y'all check him out.
So I heard common sense wasn't too common. And then I found out it was true. Because if it was common sense that everybody should have common sense, then why does it seem like when God distributed common sense, most people ain't seen common sense? So with that said, I'm going to help you use your real eyes to realize these real lies that society places out in hands reach. They tell us to get rich or die trying, but that's just another line that the broke man speak. If the rich man saying he's being bleak, that's kind of like learning from somebody that wasn't taught how to teach. If you did that, tell me how intelligent would you be? You better spit, Kodak. Now, throughout this poem, I'm going to try my best not to lose you. You see, society places us out to be the minority, like we never had the power in our hands. So the next time they ask me who I am, I'm going to stand up tall, look them dead in the face, and tell them, call me Mansa Musa. Because he was the richest person to ever live, and he was actually a black man. Spit, Kodak. You see, we lost who we actually are. And we don't want to find out who we can be, because we too afraid that the man with the star on his chest is going to try to square us away. That's the same thing he did to Sandy. Spit, Kodak. And they're getting sneaky like plankton. I committed the crime and I find myself not guilty. Holy crabs. I'm just saying. The same person that's judging is the same person that shot him, but we don't see that as a problem because we too worried about that Bill Cosby actually take down those women bikini bottoms. Spit, Kodak. So where did we go missing? I think it was around the same time one grown man started getting beat by another grown man because he didn't want to listen. And please, please don't get me started on religion. Because black people became slaves before we became Christians. Now I'm going to let that prey on your mind for a minute. Spit, Kodak. Now don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Jesus Christ wasn't real or that he was inexistent, because I do believe he walked amongst the land of the living. I'm just on this scavenger hunt trying to figure out at what point the books of the Bible somehow mysteriously come up missing. Spit, Kodak. For example, if I told you that Eve wasn't Adam's first wife, would you believe me? Probably not. But what if I said her name was Lilith? And Lilith left Adam because she didn't want to be submissive. And most women are children of Lilith, and I made that comparison because it's slightly embarrassing that most of y'all got that way around the same time Webby taught y'all how to spell independent. Now let me change the subject before y'all think this is a poem to bash women and Christians. Spit, Kodak. I could give you 666 reasons why you should love the skin that you in. They say 666 is the mark of the beast. Well, hi, how you doing? My name is Beast. Because black people are the only people with 6 protons, spit, Kodak, 6 neutrons, spit, Kodak, 6 electrons, spit, Kodak, all to create this one atom. And since 666 is a sign of negativity, and it creates my DNA, and since DNA is the opposite of matter, how long have you been telling me that black lives doesn't matter? Spit, Kodak. Wait, is that the reason why you take most of our fathers away? Because it's harder to fool a fool than it is to fool a bastard. Let me throw my hands up high and tell them don't shoot, because that's the next thing that start happening when you start throwing intelligence at them. Spit, Kodak. Spit, Kodak. Spit, Kodak. Wait, this your conscience talking. Maybe this time you should listen, Kodak. You see, every time you open up your mouth and spit, Kodak, it needs to be something that's going to stick, Kodak. And every time you see something broken in this world, you spoken word to try to get it to be fixed, Kodak. Open up minds, change lives, and create visions. Visions that stop people from just being alive and make them actually start living. See, that's what happened when you actually start spitting, Kodak.
Okay, so I have a surprise. We have actually another poet here. This is Self. Self, please tell us about yourself and just how you got into doing spoken word.
So I go by the name of Self the Poet. I've been doing spoken word since around high school, so like about 5 or 6 years, but I had stopped for a while. And it was just like to do some gathering within myself and then just getting to know the art again. Poetry for me, I think poets are the people that can turn thoughts into words. and then use those words to paint the picture for you again. So as a poet, I pride myself in, being able to express things in a different way or in an alternative perspective and give you something that'll actually make you think a little deeper about a certain subject that you normally would overlook.
Okay, so what are some subjects that you like to go into depth with?
Our people. I love it because a lot of times you hear, the Black Lives Matter and things like that, but nobody tells our people what we're doing wrong, And from the outside, they just get offended. They don't want to hear it. They think everybody's being racist or people are hating, but it's like, we need to get ourselves together too. We can't just tell everybody else to help us and we're not helping ourselves.
Right. So now you came with Kodak. So how long have you all been knowing each other and how did this come about?
Man, so Kodak is like my brother I didn't have when I was growing up. Like blood couldn't probably make us any closer, and we've probably only known each other for like 5 months.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's just like the poetry scene is a close-knit scene, so you're going to see some people over and over, and it's a family scene. Mm-hmm. So when you're doing it, it's like, people stick together. You're going to have your issues with your family and stuff like that. Y'all may fall out. Even though me and Kodak, we really don't fall out. We usually be eye to eye, It'd be like us against the world type thing. That's my bro.
Okay, well, thank you so much. And please stay tuned because he's going to share a little something with us.
I got a question. How should I make this poem come alive? Maybe if I close my eyes and lift my hands up high, then will you feel my pain? Or maybe if I clench my fist and strain, nails dug deep into my veins, and as I'm gasping on this stage, maybe then will this poem come alive. Or maybe if I pour my heart into your palms, you sip of my sweet embalm, and as you die in my cradled arms, maybe then will this poem come alive. Consider my words as thieves. The way they'll snatch the air up out your lungs like a brand new chain around your neck, or snatch your heart from out your chest and make you love to see what's next. Consider my words optimistic. For they are that light in the deepest, darkest corners of your soul, the face of truth behind your masquerade of lies. They are that beauty within the eye of the beholder. See my words. My words are power. My words turn mountains into anthills, tall trees to mint flowers. They say sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Yeah, that's great. But I guarantee you don't want to go toe-to-toe with these words, because I'm coming with swift metaphorical hooks and two-piece entendres that'll leave you seeing double trouble. Uh-oh, someone get these cats a muzzle. I think he's barking up the wrong tree. As my words hit that tree, they strip that bark good so that all that's left now is some wish a ninja would. Take that. Wish a ninja would build me a metaphorical house, because once I bring this poem to life, it's going to need a place to chill out. But my words more than chill out. They bound to freeze time. I spit miracles, something like how Jesus turned water into wine. I spit divine. I spit recline, because I just sit back and relax and let the words unwind. I spit the kind of stuff that'll reload your mind, scroll down your spine, backspace your crying, control, alt, delete all the problems in your lives. See my words. My words don't just tell stories. They create visions that turn to dreams, and dreams that become the present, because my words are gifted. Bow tie and a ribbon if it suits you. Get it? Bow tie suits you. Please don't misconstrue. I guess now you're wondering, what good are good words? My words are for the voices that remain unheard. My words are for the voices of Trayvon Martin, Mike Brown, and Sandra Bland, and so many more unheard voices that never reached the judge's stand. What would Trayvon have said after the slam of the gavel? Or what would Sandra Bland say if she hadn't already lost her battle? See, we got to remain educated, because education wasn't made for our eyes to look. They're stripping us of our rights and taking our history right out of the textbooks. See, my words are not for talking. My words are for action. My words are for the people who just don't understand how hard being black is. So for all of my people that are tired of fighting, and for all of my people that are tired of crying, and for every single soul that sacrificed themselves by dying, how should I make this poem come alive? Maybe if I close my eyes and lift my hands up high, then will you feel my pain? Or if I clench my fist and strain, nails dug deep into my veins, and as I'm gasping on this stage, maybe then will this poem come alive. Self.
So again, I just want to say thank you for tuning in with me, staying with me throughout this year and throughout this whole entire season. And those of you who have been with me since season 1, thank you for watching. And I enjoyed being able to share with you all these people who have come onto the show to share their gifts and their talents and their passions with you. And I hope that you were encouraged. I hope you were inspired. And I hope you're not giving up on your dreams, Don't forget our verse of the day and our devotion from Ephesians 1 verses 11 through 14. Be ready for next year because something's about to happen and you are going to be fulfilled. God's promise is on its way. There is a beautiful me and you. You are God's beauty inside and out. Love you guys. Bye. Happy holidays.